What's happening, YouTube? I wasn't really going to review this gun, but I decided to, just because um, I got some dumbass comments when I posted on someone else's video about the high point, and there's always going to be the high point haters, but I think in honor of the high point haters, I'm going to make a high point video. High point C9. Keep it loaded with the Remington 124 grain jacketed hollow points. Basically, what can I say about this gun that hasn't already been said? Damn good gun. Best $132 I ever spent, and I'm maintaining that till the very end. This gun eats anything I feed it. The only ammo it's ever had issues with was Winchester white box 9mm full metal jackets, and it would always hang up on the last 2 rounds in the magazine. But other than that, it shoots everything else. And before people say, well, you know, that's typical of high point. Well, before you do, know that I used to have a Glock 36 that used to jam quite a bit, and that's a Glock. So that can happen with any gun manufacturer. It feeds Federal Hydroshocks, all kinds of different hollow points, and you know, basically, other than the Winchester white box, I've never had an issue with it, and it's more accurate than my Glock 23. You know, and somebody asked me, well, will it go through 1,000 rounds without cleaning like a Glock? Fuck, I don't know. Probably. I mean, I'm not in the habit of abusing my weapons, be it a cheap high point C9 or a more expensive Smith & Wesson 640 238 Special. They both earn the same amount of respect for me because they both can save my life if needed in situations. So I clean them and oil them and treat them as such. But it probably would. I don't see why it wouldn't. I've put a lot of rounds through it to begin with, and nothing's wearing out on it. You know. So I don't know why it wouldn't. And the thing is that people get hung up on with carry guns and combat guns. Unless you're a soldier going into Afghanistan, Iraq, Beirut, Chechnya, somewhere, you don't need to worry about if a gun's going to go through 1,000 rounds without cleaning, because you're not going to shoot it that much without cleaning it living here in the U.S. And if you do, that's on you. Some of the most expensive carry guns out there won't go 1,000 rounds, of continuous use without cleaning. I doubt your Kimbers would. I know for a fact your car pistols won't, because I've owned a couple car pistols, and they're fine weapons, but they're made to be carried a lot and shot very little. And for what they cost, for what they're designed to do, for what they cost, they're kind of pricey. I had some of the CW 9s. Those are the ones I've ever had, and I saw one for like $288 a couple weeks ago. I probably should have picked it up. But the point is, most carry guns that are designed to save people's lives are pretty much designed to be shot very little and carried a lot. This gun, I don't know if you'd put 1,000 rounds to this gun without cleaning it. I wouldn't want to, but it's Smith & Wesson, so it's quality. But it's definitely a weapon that's made to be shot very little and carried a lot, because it's a carry weapon. So people that worry about if the C9 can go through 1,000 rounds without continuous use, I don't know. Try it. Iraq veteran 888 or something like that. He's got a really good review on the high point torture test. And from what I remember from that video, that thing ran like a Swiss watch. I was impressed with it. If that didn't make you want to buy a C9, then I don't know what will. And I bought this thing, way before that. This is a staple in every gun owner's arsenal, because may need to arm yourself, might need to arm somebody else with it. you know? And I have no doubt that this little gun would save my life if needed. If I was ever in a situation where I needed to, I would have no issues with employing this little pistol to save my life, because I know it works. I know it works. And I don't keep it loaded with ammo that it doesn't like. So, people that want to talk about the high points and about how cheap certain guns are, get off that trip, Granted, there are some high points that are broken. One guy on here, I can't remember his name, but he's got a video where his high point broke. Now, I don't know if he altered it so that outcome would occur, just to prove his point about hating the high point, or I don't know if that was if it legitimately broke. I mean, it could go either way. I don't know. But I bought this gun because of the controversy, and the same reason I've got my little Jimenez J25 upstairs. I've got a Colt 25 Auto, and the Colt 25 Auto is more accurate, even though it's got little what's the word I'm looking for? It has very minuscule trench sights on it, but it's actually more accurate than that J25 is. But the J25 is never jammed; it always runs. I've never had an issue with it, so I have no doubt that in close quarters, which is what most defensive shooting situations would be in, that it would work and save my life. I have no doubt that any of my guns, I have no doubt that they wouldn't save my life. I mean, they're just they all work. I've seen them all work. They all work. So that's just my little review on the C9. I'm not gonna get too into like the intricacies and the dimensions and breaking it down. I've actually never broken this thing down. I've just oiled the barrel and I've just cleaned the bore, because it's not really meant to be field stripped. You can, if you have a punch, you can do it. I know how to. I've seen there's plenty of videos on here how to do it, but I don't do it, and it still runs like a little Swiss watch. It's a good little gun. So go pick one up.